makes it through to I-47. Guys, let's get into the game. And spawning over here as the top right position, Blue Zerg, ladies and gentlemen. One of the UK's strongest Zerg players. Let's find out if he can make it through this last best of 3 before he gets that sponsored ticket to I-47. We have Ourk. And his opponent spawning in the bottom left spawning location as the Red Zerg. Representing FX Open, his teammate unfortunately didn't make it past the semifinals, but can he do enough in his own? We have Slavik. So it seems like we have a decent number of qualifying Zergs, man. Dignitas Bling will be looking to try and go and take them all out. But we don't know if that's actually going to happen. In the meantime, I'm sure this will make Zazu very, very happy indeed. So both sides just continuing to drone up. We see no early pulls from either player here on Daybreak. Hatches first aren't too uncommon here. So it looks like Slavik is going to be going for his hatch. Are we going to see Ourk go for his? No, he's going to be going for his spawning pool first. So we have a hatch first coming out of Slavik, and a pool first coming out of Ourk. Not too out of the ordinary so far. Let's see what he opts to do with his pool first, if he's going to be getting any additional lings out for that early map control. If he's going to go for a slightly earlier gas after his hatch, let's wait and see. But I suspect it's just 2 players doing the exact same thing with a little bit of a different order. And it looks like... Yup, indeed. So we have the expansion coming down for Ourk as well. And of course we have the pool coming down for Slavik. We see a first gas being taken from both players now as well. So it looks like pool into hatch, hatch into pool. But otherwise, identical builds coming out from these guys. And don't forget, the guy who went pool first, of course, gets the earlier queen. So gets the earlier inject as well. So it's not that big of a difference economically. Overlords are just going to be getting into their respective positions for scouting purposes. Ourk actually has an Overlord into Slavik space much faster. Because Slavik has opted to send his overlords off to the side. So he hasn't actually scouted the main base of Ourk at this time. Which is interesting, because it means that he won't get to at this point. Ourk got to see that there was 1 gas taken in the main base, but Slavik didn't see anything as to what was going on in the main of Ourk. Just a little bit of a scouting advantage for him at this time. And 2 overlords are going to pass each other here towards the main base. But not too much out of the ordinary. More drones, more queens, and we have metabolic boost coming up for both players. So now the metabolic boost is being researched. Let's take a quick look as to how many drones are still in gas. 3 for Slavik. And if we take a look at Ourk, also 3. So these guys are potentially going to be teching up relatively quickly here. Let's see what they decide to do. A Baneling Nest going down for Slavik at exactly the same second as Ourk. So we could potentially be seeing some knife fight ZVZ mechanics going on here on Daybreak. Let's see if that can translate into something else. As in, are we going to be using these defensively so that we can tech up? Or are we just going to be going crazy number of Zerglings and Banelings and trying to end the game right here? 9 drones on the way for Slavik and 2 lings. So both sides just going for a couple of lings to start off with. Slavik slightly ahead in worker supply, 36 to 33 as it currently stands. And Ourk looking like he might end up being the defender here, because he was the only one to get a spine crawler, interestingly enough. Now we do have Zergling Speak finishing very, very slightly sooner for Slavik. So he's going to be able to... move back and try and prevent the rest of this Zergling scout from Ourk, but his finishes a couple of seconds later, and Ourk will be able to get a full scout off as well, as both sides go straight into lair. So we're not going to be seeing that knife fight. Both sides going lair now. We have 3 more gases being taken from Ourk, so he's going up to all 4 of his gases. Slavik, in the meantime, also going up to all 4. He took his second gas slightly sooner than Ourk. And these guys really are almost mirroring their builds. It's very close at the moment. Both sides now have an evolution chamber out. Slavik admittedly got his out a little earlier, but he wasn't using it to research anything, and it looks like he might be going for his third right about now. Slavik putting a drone there. And there's... Oh, there we go, taking his third. Now, Ourk does not have an overlord above the third base location. He will not see that this third has gone down until about 2/3 of the way done, because he does have an overlord slowly creeping towards it from the right-hand side of that third base, but it's going to take quite a long time before he actually gets there. The hatch might even complete by the time he sees it. On the converse, we see that Slavik has an overlord directly above the third base of Ourk, and no drone has been sent there to put a hatch down. So you've got a Spire going down for Slavik now, and an Infestation Pit going down for Ourk. The Infestation Pit is a bit faster, which I think gives a bit of an advantage to Ourk, because when both sides have a Roach Warren, and Ourk's Roach Warren is actually a bit faster as well, getting that earlier pathogen glands means you can grab the first round of infestors just that little bit sooner, and it means they have a bit more energy, and that could translate into an extra fungal, which is really, really useful against Mutalisks. So let's see what that happens. And a couple of Banelings here trying to defend for Ourk, and it looks like able to successfully do so. Oh, picking off a single Baneling there. And there are two more Banelings moving across the map now for Slavik to try and tempt these Zerglings into a bit of aggression. And here we go. Oh, nice target firing by the Roaches on that Baneling. Such good defense coming out of here from Ourk, and Slavik cannot find a word in edgeways. Pathogen glands halfway done for Ourk. Now Gleaver Constitutional +1 missile attacks going down for both players. We have the Spire complete as well, and 8 Mutalisks are now on the way. We have 3 Infestors and counting, and 4 Spore Crawlers. Ourk's sick Star Sense. Has he actually scouted the Spire? Yes, he has. He saw it, and he knows what the timing should be for this particular play to commence. It's a Queen actually getting picked off in the main base there by Slavik. He might even get a drone. No, he doesn't actually get the drone, but he does get the Queen. Work is killed still 0-0 in this game at the moment. Slavik 95-90 supply ahead. He is actually ahead in Work is quite a lot, 70-51, because Ourk only now knows, only saw about the third base quite late, and Slavik has been the one who's been the aggressor. And because he has the Mutalisks, Ourk has no choice but to defend. So he just wants to get his own third base up as quickly as possible. It looks like an Overlord is going to go down at the third base location, temporarily supply blocking Ourk. And Slavik is now moving in with the Mutalisks. And oh, we could see a fungal, and we do see a fungal. Nice fungal there on the 3 Mutas. A second one might actually allow the Queen to get a decent amount of damage done. We still need one more fungal. Can we have one more fungal? Yes, we do. That was a really good fungal there, and very nice 4th fungal. And the Mutas have just disappeared, ladies and gentlemen. There are a total of 0 out on the map right now, and Slavik is reversing to Roaches. Great pickoff there from Ourk. He is down in supply at the moment a little bit, though, because his worker count is about 15 less that of Slavik, but his army is doing just fine and dandy indeed. Slavik going to be taking a 4th base in this forward location. Let's see if Ourk is going to be able to deny that. He's actually moving up via the top 4th location. Doesn't realize that the one in the middle has been taken, so instead he'll end up attacking the 3rd. Now, what is there at this 3rd? Oh dear, 4 Roaches are going to be shutting this down, so there won't really be much of a run by only 2 Zerglings left, and there is actually a Queen at this 3rd base location. Slavik going to be going for a Hydralisk Den at this time. In the meantime, Ourk going with a round of 11 drones. I can't say no to that. He's getting +2 as well, and more Infestors are coming up, but Slavik also investing in Infestors of his own. Ourk will have the advantage as far as energy on his Infestors there, because he has had his out for longer, and we see Slavik is basically, after that first round of Mutalisks that really didn't go too well indeed, is going to be abandoning that idea in the meantime. Hydra Den is out, so Roach, Hydra, Infestor coming out from Slavik. In the meantime, just Roach, Infestor coming out from Ourk at this moment in time. Let's see what the players do with their respective strategies. Burrow and +2. Almost complete for Ourk, who has a superior Infestor count, I think. 9 to 6 Infestors at the moment. And he's making a lot more Roaches too. And these Overlords trying their best to get away, but actually they don't mind being there because that baits energy out of those Infestors, which means that the army can't be fungled later on. So Slavik is perfectly happy to sit here and see everything that Ourk has, and Ourk is also perfectly happy to sit there because he needs to macro up And he's actually on 74 drones at the moment versus 80, so both sides on a good amount. 9 Hydralisks coming in for Slavik, and okay, what's going to happen in this next engagement, guys? It's all going to be down to the placement of Hydralisks, alright? Hydras do so much DPS, and they add so much to this Zerg army, but they're super squishy. So if a flank of Zerglings comes in, for example, and kills off a whole bunch of the Hydralisks, that's huge. Doesn't matter if the Roaches are taking damage. If fungal growths land on the Hydralisks, that's huge. It doesn't matter if the Roaches are taking damage. They are only at 80 hit points versus the 145 of Roaches. So, and they also don't have any armor to start off with, whereas Roaches at least have that 1 armor. So let's see what he is able to do here. It looks like an Overseer is going to be able to spot what's going on at the top of the map, and they're running away from the Hydras at the moment. Ourk sees that, of course, a decent number are in this composition, and it looks like the Hydras are very slightly faster than the Overseer on creep, but for some reason both sides just kind of stopping there, and a single Hydra does take him on mano a mano and kills off that Overseer. We have a massive push out in the middle of the map there from Ourk. Both sides are currently maxed out. And Slavik, can he actually see? Yes, he can. He can see that the middle location is being broken down. I'd love to see some Infestors right now, because those Roaches are looking so vulnerable. We have the Hydras coming in for Ourk. So let's find out what each side has. 35 versus 25 Roaches in favor of Ourk. 9 versus 7 Infestors in favor of Ourk. 16 versus 8 Hydralisks in favor of Slavik. This is close, man. Both sides taking all 5 of the bases on their halves of the map. We can see the top left and bottom right bases both being taken here. Slightly faster for Slavik. What are the upgrades looking like? 2-0 on one side. Excellent first bungle coming out from Slavik. 2-0 on the other as well. But a lot of Hydras are in this composition. But it doesn't matter because Ourk's moving back. He's moving back. So he never got any fungals off. And that was just a huge win for Slavik there. If both sides are back up to maxed out, so you can't tell. But look at this. 2,200 versus 1,400 bang. That's all down to those fungal growths. That was a huge victory for Slavik. Ourk is +1 armor now kicking in. So that's going to be good for him. But, oh my goodness, that was absolutely huge. And we have the Great Aspire coming in from Slavik as well. So 2-1 upgrades all around at the moment. And the Ourk's going to stick with this composition and try and continue upgrading, possibly. Although we actually have the +3 attack a little bit faster than Ourk here. Who's going for ground 2 carapace here, level 2. I don't know if that's going to be enough. And here we go. The Great Aspire is about to complete, morphing in a lot of... we need to commit here from Ourk. There's a lot of spine crawlers. He needs to commit. Get some great fungal growths off. Good fungal. He needs to fungal 2 or 3 more on the Hydralisk to stop the DPS coming up from this army. And he's not microing his Infestors. His Infestors are dying. This is sloppy from Ourk here. And the Infestors are gone. He's down to 158 supply versus the 194 from Slavik. This is not what he wanted. Slavik currently making 23 more Roach, 25, and 8 more Infestors. And to be honest, the fungals from Ourk just weren't there. That's what happened there, guys. The fungals weren't there, and Slavik was just able to completely steamroll the army. A couple of burrowed Infestors do a decent amount of damage at the top left expansion. Ourk did kill 20 workers there. And good fungal to start the game off with here on his side of the map. We need 2 more fungals on the Hydralisk, and then a lot of the DPS will disappear. Slavik trying to break through now, and we have the Roaches moving forward from Ourk, but no additional fungal growth. And here we have the Infestors coming in from Slavik. Now those Hydras are very exposed at the moment. There aren't too many Roaches in front of them. Needs to be so careful because they are so squishy, and so many of them are on orange or red health. But the Infestors from Slavik have a bit too much energy, and he is going to overrun this middle base. He is advancing on this position. Those drones are going to be in danger very shortly indeed. Much better fungal growth from Slavik than we saw for Ourk in this game. And I think Ourk is going to be going down here 0-1 in this best of 3. Those Hydras popping out at the 5th base location for Ourk, going down so quickly to the DPS here. And the Infested Terrans will take care of the rest. A lot of Hydras moving in. I don't like how Hydra heavy this is, but it's going to be enough anyway. They weren't all able to be killed because there simply weren't enough units, and Slavik wins game 1 over Ourk.